I actually don't believe that someone just up and decides, okay, like they're gonna be a hoe. That doesn't make sense to me. You don't just who wants to devalue themselves that easily? I'll tell you what I've personally noticed though. What I've noticed is somebody would genuinely, out of the goodness of their heart, commit to someone, give their whole heart to someone, right? And usually, let's just take a girl. She'll give her heart to a guy, right? And she'll commit to him, be in a relationship, do everything that he wants, be feminine as hell, all that stuff. And then the relationship gets toxic. And she's so attached to him. She gave her virginity up to him, all this stuff that she don't want to leave, but she realizes she doesn't want to stay in a situation like that. So she leaves. She leaves. And now she leaves realizing that she gave her body up to this guy, knowing that, you ain't getting that back. You ain't getting that back ever, right? So what happens now is she gets afraid of, giving her heart to a guy out of fear that she's gonna lose her, she already lost her virginity. She's gonna give her body up to another guy who won't care for her or who isn't for her, essentially. So instead of, fixing problems, because a lot of people, what you need to do is fix the problem. And this goes for men and women, right? Usually what they'll do is they'll leave the relationship resenting both themselves and the person they gave their body to. And even after this relationship ends, genuinely good people could come into their lives, right? And they could have a genuinely good person, but they're so afraid of commitment that because of their last situation, they're so afraid of committing to that new person that they'd rather just enjoy the sexual intimacy with that person with no strings attached. And then after a while, one or both of them is going to get annoyed or just sick of being, strung along, essentially. Get it? Strings attached, strung along. They're going to be so annoyed with that. They're just like, no, like I'm not doing this. And so they probably lose a genuinely good person or somebody with morals and standards. But after that, the person leaves, the cycle continues. They move on to the next person, and then the next person, and then the next person, without fixing the inner issue that they, afraid of commitment. That's how a whole phase is started, right? The cycle just repeats over and over and over again. And then by that point, they'll start regretting everything, like every genuine person they lost, and then kind of like return to them, But by that point, those people have moved on. You know what I'm saying? But how does this relate to Dragon Ball? See, and how does this relate to Goku? Because he's a hoe in terms of fighting. Think about it like this. This guy, Goku, right? He's been in so many fights with all these guys. Vegeta, that was a good fight for him, right? But he's fought so many guys. At first, he was in his little fight relationship with Piccolo. That kind of ended once the Raditz arrived. Right, because Piccolo killed him. Goku got his satisfaction. He already beat Piccolo, so he had to move on anyway. And now, and his whole phase, Goku's whole phase, it's just a no-ending cycle. It's been going on forever, right? And then you move on to Vegeta. Now, his first fight with Vegeta, it's so weird how people say that, Vegeta won his first fight. No, Goku, he really got destroyed. But that's what Goku liked. He enjoyed Vegeta. He was like, man, this is a challenge. So he kept going back to Vegeta. And then Frieza arrived. And then Goku was like, whoa, this is even bigger and badder than Vegeta. Forget Vegeta. This Frieza's crazy. But Frieza, he beat Frieza. Even Trunks beat Frieza. He realized Frieza wasn't nothing. Trunks beat him. Why would I worry about Frieza? Then Cell came along. And Cell was a good fight. He was perfect. Cell was perfect. But Cell killed him. And he knew Cell wasn't going to come back. So why worry about him? He trained in the afterlife with all those other guys. And when he came back, knowing he had SS3 in his back pocket, he saw how strong Vegeta got. Even with Babidi steroids, he knew he wanted to spin the block with Vegeta just one more time. And Goku, so selfishly, he knew it would drain his time on Earth. He knew it would give energy to Majin Buu. He still fought Vegeta. He lost all credibility with me after that. He still fought Vegeta. Not only did it give energy to Buu, it costed him his family. At the end of the day, he's the reason his family died, right? But even then, he wasn't even worried. This asshole goes and says, you know what? Okay, Vegeta's dead, but now there's this Buu. And then he starts enjoying fighting Buu. What is wrong with this guy? And then he kills Boo, right? And then he has the nerve to say, I hope you come back as something better. And then he does as Oob. And what does he do? He repeats the cycle. This guy is insane. It's like, he repeats the cycle with Oob. He literally abandons his family to go fight Oob. Goku's the biggest hoe in all of anime, all of manga, all of shonen. He is the biggest hoe. And I don't even need to say it, but the cycle just continues into GT and Super. Like, it just continues, even into Daima. But that's just a history of Goku's hoism, his hoe behavior in Dragon Ball. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Catch me in the next one. I'll be reviewing AI, redrawing my art.